tragic, yeah, I'm cut from a different fabric.
Now my life going up, butterfly doors. Butterfly doors.
What up, everyone? It's the Love First podcast. It's your boy, Kata Don.
It's your boy, Rafe.
Yes, and we have a very special guest with us, Derrick Sinclair. He is the CEO of Ground Up Credit Repair Services. And he's going to teach us a lot about how to get our credit score better, what is credit, what affects it, and most of all, how to get our credit score better.
Definitely.
Facts.
Ray, I know you've been off the podcast for a minute. We're glad to have you back. So actually, have you taken off today?
Yes. Well, first, I just want to say, it's great to be back on the podcast after taking, some time off, and it's nice to meet you, Derrick. I have a couple of questions. Regarding like the education part of credit and maintaining it, and also like how important it is to have it, like how important it is to learn about it at an early age, as opposed to like being, older in life and just figuring out how to maintain your credit and things of that nature.
Right.
So my first question for you is, being like the climate that we're in right now, like a lot of people are doing like, online shopping and not really going into stores and, buying stuff or, using their debit card or things of that nature. And I have seen a lot of cases of like fraud and people like, having purchases on their card and not really understanding where it's coming from, and then having to call the bank and then having a new card mailed to them. So I just want to ask you, like, how important it is to use credit cards for purchasing online items rather than using a debit card that has all your information on it and possibly can lead to fraud and things of that nature.
It's crazy that you mentioned that, because one, I went through fraud for like almost 2 years. So it's crazy that you mentioned that. And two, I was just speaking about this specific topic on Facebook.
Yeah.
So, especially in regards to the online shopping, because with credit cards, when it comes to credit cards, anything fraudulent that happens on that credit card, you have zero liability. So, so any type of charge, you're not held liable. You don't have to pay that back, and also that's not your money. So that's the great part about it. So I would definitely recommend, especially with all the online shopping that we're all doing, use your credit card. Like, use it.
Yeah.
If anything happens, you see something. Most of the time, the bank catches it before you. So I definitely, after dealing with the fraud that I was dealing with, and I had to, same thing like you said, have to call the bank, cancel the card. I went through about, between 2018 and 2020, I must have had about 10 different debit cards. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah, it's like about 10 different debit cards.
Yo,
every time.
I went through one. And it took me so long to get that debit card, bro.
Oh,
and I'm like, where's this purchase coming from?
They like, and it's crazy because what made it crazy is that I'm the type of person, I check my accounts every day. It was one day I didn't check my account. I went one day without checking it. The next day I checked it, I got caught with fraud. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Somebody, like, it was crazy. They called me, I got that person credit. They called me. I had to switch banks and everything. So now I mainly use my credit card online. Unless it's like something that specifically, and it's like a secured payment transaction, I'll maybe use my debit, but I recommend using credit card. Not only for the zero liability part, but also because you get points for it too. So you get a lot of cashback reward points if you shop online at wherever you're shopping at. You could use those points. You could buy a plane ticket with it, a bus ticket. You could rent a car with it. You could get a hotel. You could get gift cards with those reward points. I've gotten all those stuff with all the reward points I've gotten back. So switch it, and then also helps you build credit too, because it's keeping your card in use. So you're using your card, and all you got to do is make sure you pay off that full amount or try to pay back at least half of it by the end of the month, and there you go right there. So it's like a 3-for-1 deal right there, just for using your card to shop.
Right. Absolutely.
And for the people that actually have like no idea what is credit, because a lot of our school systems, they're not teaching us anything about it.
Yeah.
So just kind of what is credit? Can we break down like what is credit? What affects it?
How I define credit is pretty much you're borrowing a line of credit, and you're pretty much applying to a bank or a lender that pretty much saying that you're borrowing this line of credit in contingency that you're going to be paying back towards it every month, whether you're paying off the full amount, half amount, a third, but you're going to be paying it back every month. You're not going to miss a payment. You're not going to be late. And for you doing that, you're building your credit up. You're building your credit history up. And I look at your credit report as like it's like your report card or like your resume, your transcript. It pretty much gives them a snapshot of how you handle your finances, how you handle your bill paying over the course of your life, more noticeably the last 7 to 10 years, because that's the most important part. They want to see what you've been doing recently, even though it shows your whole history, but it usually goes back the farthest. On closed accounts, 10 years. If it's an open account, it'll show until that account is closed and taken off your report. But it's pretty much you just borrowing a line of credit and giving that promise that you're gonna pay it and maintain it, and you're not gonna, use it too much, run it up, and they have to end up going the collections route, which we all don't want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
I like how Kaden touched about how like the education system is not really implementing like knowledge on credit. Yeah. It's funny because like me and my friend, we was having this conversation the other day how like, I graduated high school in 2013. Like if they would have been talking about like how to maintain your credit and how to build it and purchases and things of that nature, I feel like I would be in a better situation than I am in right now, to be honest with you. So I want to ask you like how life-changing do you think it would be like if the education system, like if they implemented, to the youth, how important it is to have credit and to maintain it and to be able to maintain it. Like how life-changing do you think that would be like for the youth, like people like that are teenagers and things of that nature going into their adult years?
Super crucial. I feel like if they don't give a class on it, I feel like that's what the guidance counselor should be doing. Right. To be honest, like give us a little tips on credit and stuff like that. But it would be super crucial if you tell these 17, 18-year-old how credit cards work, how store cards work, how student loans work, because they just tell you to go get these student loans. They don't really tell you how these student loans work, how they can affect your credit, and what's going to happen after you get out of school. They just want to, push you to go to a good college, get this student loan because that makes their school look good. So if you teach these young kids how to manage their money, how to manage a credit card, by the time they get out of school at 22, 23, or however long they're in, you're ready to take on the outside world. Because when you get out now, you're $40,000 in debt. And then you're gonna get a credit card. You're gonna probably run up that credit card. That's gonna be your first credit card. You're not gonna know how to use it. You probably may or may not have a good job coming out of school. So you're gonna run up that credit card, be in student loan debt, and then by the time you're my age, I'm 28, you're drowning in debt. Your credit score is low, and then you're looking back like, if I would have known how to handle
exactly.
Because even the credit cards, when you apply for them, they don't give you the full knowledge of how that credit card works. They just give you the basics. They tell you when your payment is due, what your limit is, how much the late payment, how much the late fee is, and they just tell you that. They got the rest of the stuff in the fine print. None of us read the fine print anyway, so you're not paying attention to that. You're just happy you got that credit card, and you're just like, okay, I got a $500 limit, I got a $1,000 limit. I'm about to go buy these sneakers. I'm about to go buy this. I'm about to do that, and you're not looking at. And then they don't, for example, the minimum payment. That's a minimum payment is just to prevent you from missing a payment, but they don't tell you how paying the minimum over a few months leads to you having to pay interest back. They don't tell you how, if you're only paying the minimum, how that can affect your credit. So a lot of stuff like that are not broken down to you. So if it's not broken down to you and it's on you to find that out, most of us, we're not going to take that time to go on Google and do that research and figure it out. Or if I'm talking to a 17, 18-year-old, explaining to them about credit and stuff, they're not listening to me. They're not going to be, they may listen, but they're not going to fully grasp it. They're not going to be fully paying attention to everything that I'm saying, much instead of you're a few years older. You know, you may have been through a thing or two, so now you're more
Mm-hmm.
intrigued about credit because you want to know because you realize how much it affects your daily life. So
Yeah, and how
Mhm.
important it
Yeah.
is. It's
And
like
mhm,
and
the worst situation you could be in is having a
mhm.
ton of debt and bad credit. That's
oh
the
man,
Mhm.
worst situation you could be in.
you gotta
Yeah,
have a
and
track
back
record.
credit.
It's worse than death.
Honestly,
Worse
and
than death.
that's why I think this is so important too, because
Mhm,
the fact that it's not in the school system, it tells me that this is so important. People are gaining so much wealth off of this knowledge that they don't want
mhm,
everyone to have this. This is almost like
mhm,
exclusive info, you know?
right.
So that's why we definitely wanted to get this on the podcast, give more insight, because like you guys said, it's super important for our
Mhm,
younger viewers. You will be in a blessed place if you can learn this now. But anybody
mhm,
listening, you will
Right.
be blessed by understanding this knowledge and using it for good use.
Yeah.
So let's actually talk, because you have a credit repair company, right?
right.
So if I'm a client with bad credit and I want to get my credit up, um, why should we work with you and your company? What makes you qualified? Why can we trust you guys?
The reason why you could trust me is because when it comes to me, before I even got on the route where to say I was gonna do credit repair, for something about financing, planning, budgeting, saving was just something that I was always good at. And this is something I speak about all the time. Before I even open my business, anybody that's known me for 3, 4, 5, 10 years, they know like we've had these conversations where we just talk about credit, saving, planning, budgeting. People call me, text me all the time, like, yo, like, what do you do to save? What do you do to this? So I've always been giving out tips. Sometimes I even share tips on Facebook and Instagram before I even started my business. So this is something that I'm knowledgeable on, and I'm also, to a certain extent, passionate about. Now I'm more
Mm,
passionate about it because this is the field that I'm in now. But the reason that's another reason why you should trust me, because you know when you sign up with me, you have somebody who, if I don't have the answer for you, I will go get that answer for you. If you come to me with a question, hey, well, how do you feel about this? If I'm not sure, I will do that research and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I can be reached at any time, whether it be phone call, text, message, and I do my due diligence. I make sure that as soon as you come to me with a problem, we're gonna go get it fixed. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna tell you what you can do in that process to expedite it. And I'm working every day to make sure that not only am I repairing your credit, but I'm also giving you tips and knowledge on how to maintain that credit score, telling you sign up for this, look into this credit card, look into this account, try to add this to your credit report, go do this, update this, because I want to see you get to the level of credit that I'm at, because I know how good it feels to when you can apply for whatever you want, credit wise or loan wise, and you know that you're not going to get denied, you're going to get a good interest rate. You don't have no worries that, okay, I put this in. You don't have to say a prayer that, okay, I hope I get accepted, because you know you're gonna get accepted. So just know that when you're under my program, that I'm I'm not gonna be holding your hand, but I'm with you every step of the way from start to finish.
mm. Awesome. So
Thanks.
like so if you got us as a client, right? Let's say myself, I signed up. How
Hmm.
long would it take for me to see like a marked improvement on my credit score from working with you?
That's all. It all depends. It depends on how much is on your credit report. It depends on it really depends. Sometimes it really depends on the bureaus too, because I like, for example, you sign up with me, I send disputes to the bureaus on your behalf. I can send the perfect dispute. If they choose not to remove that account, then I just have to go back to the drawing board and try again, whether it be another letter, an email, a phone call. So it really depends, but
Yeah.
for the most part, we usually see improvements within that first or second month, because not only, like I said, not only am I disputing to try to get stuff off of your credit report, I'm giving you tips of what you can add to your credit report so you can boost your score in the process. So for example, if we're going over your credit report and I see that you may not have an open credit card, so while I'm doing the disputes and I'm trying to get stuff off, I'm telling you, okay, look into this credit card, sign up for this credit card, sign up for this credit builder loan. It's going to help you raise your points. And then if you do it, then we'll see improvements that next month, because we also run the risk that if I get everything removed off your credit report at once, your credit score could drop. Because if everything on your credit report is old closed accounts to the negative, yeah, it's great that I got everything removed, but that's all your history. If all your history goes, you have no history. It's like your slate is wiped clean, which is great, but then it also drops your score because now there's nothing to calculate your score off of. So I'll always be giving you advice and tips on stuff to do. Like there's other things to do as well. You can even if you pay your rent online, there's programs where you can get credit for paying your rent online. It'll come up on your credit report. So there's different things that I research that I'll be throwing at you. You'll get a text from me, a message from me. Hey, look into this. It'll be a link, or it'll be a link to a program. Hey, look into this. You should add this to your credit report. Give it some thought. Or if I really feel like you should do it, I say, hey, do this. Sign up for this. This will help out your report, and we take it from there.
Yeah, and I just want to let our viewers know too, like what Derrick just said is legit right there. Like if you're going to work with any company and they're talking about helping you improve credit and they're talking about guaranteed, this is what's going to happen here, but guaranteed this amount of points, that's not legit because everyone has a different situation and it has to be customizable. So that really just shows the legitimacy of what you're saying. And for our viewers, when you're looking for that, that's what you need to hear. That's the truth. They're not just saying, hey, come here, I'm going to get you this many points. No, someone legitimate is telling you how they're going to help you build it and maintain it, you know?
Exactly. And that's my main bargaining chip is that I'm going to show you how to, like you said, build it and maintain it. But maintain it is my most important thing. But also, like you said, there's no guarantee how many points you're going to get because, for example, if you're helping somebody who has maybe like their credit in the 600s, they're not that far off in the 700s. So if they get something removed from their report, they won't get that much of a point increase. Whether as somebody who's in the 400s, one thing removed off of their credit report can boost them up 70, 80, 100 points. For example, I had them sign up to be added as an authorized user on a close friends account, and their score went up over 100 points. But that's because their score is a little bit low, and their credit history wasn't as long. So having 7 years of positive credit history added to their report boosted them up so much. If you add that to somebody with 650 credit, it won't be as big of a boost. It'll be a good amount of points, yes, but the increase won't be as much because they have a different credit history. They have different stuff on their report, and they're a bit higher. So to see big jumps like that, you don't see those often.
Right. Can you explain the difference between a credit report and a credit score?
So your credit score is pretty much it's like your GPA. So your credit report is like your report card, and then everything on your credit report is what they use to calculate your credit score, and that's usually why your credit score is different across. No matter how many places you sign in to check your credit score, it will always be different, even if it's off by a few points. Every company calculates it different because they get their information from different places, and they also have their different ways that they calculate your payment history or how much percent it goes towards your credit score. So that's what I'm saying. The most important thing is your credit report. Your credit score is great. That's like the you know when they say you can't judge a book by its cover. Your credit score is like the cover of that book, but you gotta once you open that book, you get to the pages, which is your credit report. That's when you get the real value of that person's financial history and stuff. So the credit, like a high credit report, high credit score is great, but that credit report, that's what it's all about.
Right.
How often should you be looking at your credit report?
I would definitely nowadays recommend every month, just for the simple fact that there's so much fraud going on. I recommend everybody get you some type of credit monitoring service, even if it's through your bank. A lot of banks now offer that too. But if you want to see your 3 credit scores and your 3 credit reports from each bureau, because they all work they don't work together, they work separately. So you can have a great Experian credit report but a terrible Equifax one. So get you a credit monitoring service, monitor all 3 of your scores, your reports every month, because it's too much fraud going on and it's so much information being sent around that all it takes is one little thing you can add it to your report to drop your score exponentially. And the longer it takes for you to find out that your credit is a little bit messed up, the harder it is to kind of fix it. It's easier to fix it when you catch it automatically, but everybody should be checking their report every month. And
does it bring your credit score down? Like if you check it often?
If you're checking, once you're checking it yourself on your behalf, it doesn't bring it down.
Okay.
But it only brings it down when you're authorizing somebody else to check on your behalf, whether it be a bank, a mortgage broker, somebody. If you're anything that you're applying for that has you running your credit, that's when it brings it down. If you're just checking it every month on one of those apps or whatever, on those services, it won't bring it down. So that's why you should definitely do it, because it doesn't. It helps way more than it hurts.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's why I haven't checked it as often. I usually just check it once a year because I'm afraid it's gonna go down. But yeah, wow. Yeah, so okay. That's great info to know.
Yeah, and also every bureau by law, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, you're allowed to get one free credit report from them per year. That's just that's in the law. One free one per year. It's changed a little bit now. They're giving out more because of the pandemic, so they're giving monthly access to it. So go to their websites, sign up for the free accounts, check your report to make sure all your information is accurate. Make sure nothing on there doesn't belong to you. If it does belong to you, make sure that it's correct. Make sure if it's something negative, take care of it, call, do everything. But check your score and your report every month if you can. It's crucial.
Yeah, for sure. How do you so we're repairing credit and you're working with clients, right? How do you like fight the bureaus on their behalf? What is that process like?
So basically, I would sign the client up. They would give me access to their credit report. I will go through it. I will see what negative stuff is on there. And I would just send dispute letters on their behalf to the bureaus saying to either verify that this information is accurate. If you can't verify it, you have to take it off. Or, for example, if something is on there that the client says, hey, this is not my account, or hey, I don't owe this much, or I don't know where this came from, then I would just dispute to verify the validity of that account or that amount. It all depends on what type of account is on their report, but it's just sending out letters. Sometimes we have to send out emails. Sometimes may even have to call. There's different ways to go about the dispute process. It all depends on the account and what's needed to get rid of it. But the main thing is just sending out letters and just in contact with the bureaus and just trying to find out the validity of the account, because everything on your credit report has to be 100% accurate. If it's not accurate, it has to be either updated or removed, one of the two.
Sure.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I have a quick question. When did you start up your company?
So I started in September. That was my first launch. September 28th was my first launch date. But I started building it, I would say, around the end of July, beginning of August. That's when I started, doing the paperwork for the LLC and working on my website and my logo and everything.
And what made you like want to start up this company and like help people and things of that nature? Like what made like any situation that triggered that and then got it to this point where it's at now?
Yeah, that made you go full force into it.
Right.
Yeah, it was a conversation with a friend. We were just talking. Like I said, I have so many different conversations about financing and planning and saving and budgeting with most of my friends. So one of my friends was like, you should do credit repair. And at first I was like, no, I wasn't really into it because I wasn't that big on customer service. But then it was like, when I was looking at it, I was like, not even gonna lie to you, I was like having to talk, interact with people every day. And because it's like, the type of customer service that I provide, I'm pretty much coaching you, and it's not easy to coach everybody. Not everybody wants to be coached. Not everybody listen when I call you and say, hey, I need you to do this. I need you to call this number. I need you to find this email for me. Send this over to me so I can do this. So it's a lot when it comes to dealing with people, and people are busy too. So then when I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, we're in the middle of a pandemic. A lot of people are struggling with their finances. They may be falling behind on their student loan payments, credit card payments, card payments, rent, mortgage. So I'm like, now, so I saw the demand where I can grow my business, but I saw the demand in where my people and all people would need it. And then I looked at it like the same way you said they don't teach this in high school. So it was like, and I always, for years, I've been saying the fact that they don't teach finance and credit and budgeting in high school or some type of early education is not good. So I was like, I know our people are not as knowledgeable on credit because I wasn't knowledgeable on credit growing up. It's just something that I got into and I just was. And once I got my first credit card, I wanted to make sure that I knew more about it. So I did my own research on it, but not everybody does that. So I realized that it was something that was lacking in our community. So I said, okay, this could be a way for me to not only help people get out of whatever situation, whatever hole they're in, but I can educate them on how to stay out of that hole, stay out of that situation. And me helping somebody get their credit up to a 750 or 780 can help them go apply for a house and give their kids a better life. So I was like, it helped people out in so many different ways. It was like, and I just saw myself doing that. So I was just laying there. I was like, you know what? Let me do it. And I just went full force into it.
Yeah, that's good.
I actually got like 2 more questions for you, right? One being, because I personally like the more personal route of actually like working with a person and a company of building your credit, because one, the maintaining factor is just important as getting your credit back up, you know? But what I have been using and other of my family members is an app like the Self app, right? And it kind of helps us build credit and builds that history. What do you think of like certain apps like that?
That's one of the main ones that I recommend to people. I done sent out that Self link so many times. Like I say, this is Self kickoff. There's a lot of them nowadays, and I'm like, these things are so great because they make it easier for people to build credit. And some people don't even realize how something as simple as that builds credit. Like there's one called Kickoff where they give you $12 as a loan, and you're paying off that $12 loan for 12 months, $1 a month. And it may sound small and insignificant to you, like it's only $12 loan is stupid, but loans are different from credit cards. So loans, it's a prearranged monthly payment. So as long as you're making that payment on time, that helps out your payment history. Your payment history is 35% of your credit score. So it helps you out so much. And then the great thing about it is that the $12 that they're giving you, they hold it in an account. So you're paying off the loan for the money that they give you from that account that they held that money in. So you're not even taking your money. All you have to do is sign in every month and just click submit payment. You got credit for an on-time payment. And it shows up on 2 out of the 3 credit reports. So I was like, stuff like that is like,
so have to send me that link.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. It's crazy because so many people have been signing up for it the past few months, and now they have a waiting list. So now people are starting to realize how important it is, and Self is a great one too. I just sent that to a client a couple of days ago, and they signed up for it. Like that's another great one. They have the credit builder loan, and it helps you build credit, and it helps you save. And a lot of people that struggle with credit, a lot of them for some reason they also struggle with saving. So you get 2 out of 1. You're building credit and you're getting to save, and it's beautiful that they have like apps and programs that can help you in small ways like that and help you build your credit up, and you don't even realize how important something as small as that is.
You need to start going to these schools and having 30-minute sessions daily.
Hey,
after this podcast, they need to bring you out there for
when
real.
they open schools back up, I just might have
Right.
a seminar or something because they like I said earlier, I feel like guidance counselors should be teaching this. Like that should be something they should be showing you in like your junior or your senior year. Like that's that last semester. Just go like how a credit card works, how a student loan really works, and just to get you ready. Like even if you don't fully grasp that information at 17, at least they put that little nugget in your brain. So eventually. But to just send people out here with no knowledge of how credit and loans and debt works, like it's not right, man. That we all end up in these bad situations that we don't know how to get out of.
Yeah. And you actually said something really important that I think people don't really connect to credit or see as important. But how important is saving your money to helping you build a good credit? I don't know if people actually see a correlation or why that's important, but please let our viewers know why that's important.
It definitely goes hand in hand because, for example, if you're saving, you always have emergency money saved up. It's less likely that if emergency pops up, you use your credit card. That's one. If something happens, for example, you lose your job. A lot of us lost jobs last year. If you got money saved up, at least okay, I got this money. I can pay off this credit card. I can just pay something so that this bill is being paid, and it just helps you build discipline. Like I always say, saving and maintaining credit, saving money, one, and maintaining credit, two, it all comes down to the person. If you have that discipline to be able to save, you'll save. I hate when people say, I'm not able to save because I only make a certain amount of money. I was saving money since I was making minimum wage. So it's all about discipline because we all have stuff that we spend money on weekly and monthly that we don't really need. And we don't realize if you cut that one little small expense, if you go to Starbucks every day, get you a medium or large coffee, or they don't go by medium or large, venti or whatever the size is called. That's about $5 to $7 a day. You add that up to a week, that's $30 to $35 that week that you can save, and you can put that $35 in a savings account weekly. Or even if it's $25, that $25 a week, that's $100 a month. That's $1,200 for that year that you saved up just off of something as small as not going and buying breakfast every morning, not going out every weekend. You can put aside some of those stuff. It's all about if you want to do it. If you have that discipline and you want to save money, then you got to sacrifice and you got to budget. You got to miss out on certain things to be able to get what you want.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same thing with credit. If you want your credit, if you want to maintain your credit, then you have to have that discipline that if I'm using this credit card this often, you have to have that discipline that you're going to either pay it off by the end of the month, pay off half, pay off a portion, but you're going to get it paid off sooner rather than later. But it's all on your mindset.
Right.
So my final question, I might have said that already, but as far as, because they're talking about passing a bill, right, to clear like $50,000 of federal student loan debt. Now, will that bring up everyone's credit score, or is there a chance it can backfire and bring us down because of like our history, or because they're just clearly, clearing debt, it can only bring us up? How can that possibly work for us?
I read that article. I forgot the exact number, but I believe they said if they was to excuse everybody from 50,000 of their student loan debt, that would take, I think they said about 89% of people out of student loan debt, which is crazy. So, for example, if you have 50K in student loan debt and they excuse that whole 50K, you went your credit report went from reporting that you're 50K in debt to now you're debt free. That will boost your score up so much because now it pretty much shows that you don't owe anybody any money. That large lump sum of money that was shown on your credit report that you owe the government is now gone. So now you could possibly go from you'll possibly end up showing on your report that you're debt free, or you only owe maybe 10,000 or maybe even 1,000, depending on if you have credit card debt as well. So it would help out a lot of people's credit score and help out a lot of people's credit report. But I don't think it will hurt it because from what I read in the article, even though they're excusing it, I don't think that they're just going to erase it from your credit report. So that account will still be on your report. So it'll show up that account was just paid off in full. So all the payments that you made beforehand will still show on your credit report for the next 7 to 10 years, and then it will drop off. So you'll just have that positive account showing that it was paid off in full on your credit report. So that would help out a lot of people. So I'm really hoping that they get that passed. Really hoping.
Praying on that one. No, we definitely appreciate the jewels and the knowledge. Where can our followers find you on social media?
So Facebook, you can just find me at Ground Up Credit Repair Services. Instagram, it's groundup_credit. You can also follow my personal Instagram, that's DNICE_. SINCLAIR, D_Sinclair. It has all my links to my personal and my business Facebook, as well as my business Instagram. So, and I also, as you see, I share my daily credit tips Monday through Friday on both Facebook and Instagram. So I drop a lot of jewels there about how to build your credit, different programs you can try to help you build your credit, different things you could try to, to help eliminate your debt or strategically pay off your debt so that you're not doing too much. So it's a lot of different topics that I touch on, and I try to send out there every day so that people can have that knowledge, because a lot of people don't realize. Like, a lot of people hit me up and they say, wow, I didn't know that that's something as small as that can help my credit score so much. It's a lot of stuff that can help you and hurt your credit score. And some of them are so small that you'll never realize how much it can help or hurt. But so that's why I try to get that info out there to try to help people out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, make sure y'all follow Derrick. We're gonna have his social media information in the description link of this video. Make sure you click on that. If you're listening on like Spotify, Apple Music, just make sure you find us on Facebook and YouTube. We have all the links, and he just told you how to find them as well. We definitely appreciate you giving us the keys to success. You can definitely expect us calling you for credit tips and all that stuff. Me and Ray
I can reach out at any time. I'm here. I don't mind coming back from the show and dropping some more jewels as well. So I'm here to, if y'all need tips or if y'all want me to come back another week or every week, every month, I'm here. I'm trying to help the people as much as I can.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll definitely be looking forward to taking you up on that offer for sure.
Definitely. I'm here for you.
Yes. So that was another episode of the Love First podcast. Why hate when you can love first? Love First podcast.
What up, everyone? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification bell for the latest podcasts, music videos, and comedy skits. We got a lot more content coming your way.
We here all day, baby.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel, baby.
Yeah, we gotta show love first like a podcast.